we need to set a February, fucking hell.
How many hard solos have you had pre-game?
7 or 8. Hello everyone, welcome to The Deep Drop. This is a fishing podcast brought to you by myself, Luke McCredden, and my good friend Adam Ring. And Adam, I kind of was sitting here thinking, I'm gonna launch into this episode with a real good descriptor of what it's about. And the minute I started talking, I went, just throw to Adam, because I'm always stuck in this spot. Give it to us. What's it all about?
I'm running out of ways to explain what the Deep Drop's about. But yes. I think at the moment the podcast's a little bit like the weather we're going through.
Right. Yeah.
It's red hot, mate.
It's red hot. I love it. That's all we need.
Just short and sweet this week. It's
brilliant.
Red hot.
Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for jumping on board again and joining the show for another episode. Straight off the bat, we are having a break next week. We'll go into a bit more of that detail as we go, but could be a long one. We could be here for a while tonight, Ads.
I'm ready.
I do need to apologise. The studio is not air-conditioned or ventilated for that matter, so there will be sweat. There will be probably tears and maybe blood.
And maybe a little bit of nudity. It's pretty warm.
So thank you for jumping on. If you're new here, welcome. It's a fishing podcast. That's the guts of it. But ultimately, Adam and I have fun with it. We question everything. We don't always answer everything. We throw to you guys to help answer things. We have a lot of fun along the way. So appreciate everyone's feedback and engagement across the social channels over the last couple of weeks. If you've been along for the journey thus far, it's good to have you back. Appreciate all the input and all the love. Adam, the socials, that's where you can get in touch with us. It's the easiest way. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify is now basically a social platform.
Just running all of them.
Just run all of them. Follow and
why not?
Yeah, follow along. Share it around with your mates. Tell them about these two dickheads that talk rubbish about fishing, and jump on board the train because we're just going for it.
We're going for it. Answer the questions. Get involved in the conversation. Tell us we're wrong. Tell us we're right. Hit a like. Hit a share. Do whatever you need to do, but get involved. Every social platform covered now.
Absolutely. Until there's a new one, and then it's like, fuck, really?
Yeah. And then we'll let that one go for 3 years until no one gives a shit about it, and then we'll sign up.
Well, I explained to someone the other day, because like, oh, you're on TikTok now. I said, yeah, I just had to see if it was a real thing.
Yeah. That's right.
I'd like to give it a decade just to make sure it's legit.
Banned.
Yeah. So, but anyway, hey, we kick off the show these days with a drink of the week. I just a massive shout out straight off the bat to @Stubbsy23 on Instagram, who have provided a suggestion, Ads, and we're going with the hard solo. Give it a minute.
Oh, perfectly done. Yes. Perfectly done. The sweet sound of a hard solo in a bright green stubby holder. Yeah, is there anything better?
I was going to say the colour scheme's not really working, but I don't even care, and it doesn't matter. So, cheers, Stubbsy23. Appreciate it. It's a good drop.
Good suggestion. Yeah. Don't mind it.
I
must admit though, Luke, I'm double parked tonight.
You actually?
I'm double parked. I've got the hard solo in one hand, and I've got a cooler of ice cold water because it's fucking hot.
I'll allow it tonight. I think I've got the same. It's pretty bloody warm. I'm not going to lie. Hey, just to jump straight into something during the week. Obviously, you guys reach out on Instagram, and which is awesome. It's the best way to do it. Love the interaction, and it's not always just of the episode we've just released. Might be 1 or 2 back, might be 50 back, whatever it is. I mean, we're up to 118, Adam, for God's sake.
Solid.
But this week we heard from long-time listener Harry Taylor, who has given us a bit of a message about when we spoke a couple of weeks ago about live baiting for tuna.
Oh, nice.
So I am going to play Harry's message, and I appreciate it, Harry. It gives us a good insight. Maybe it's not the way you're thinking it might go, Adam, but let's have a listen.
Yeah, boys. On my way to work, listening to the Deep Drop bright and early, and listening to the section that you spoke about, bluefin tuna and live baits. I actually went out probably a week ago now and caught a heap of liveys, yuccas and fresh squid and live squid, and went out and had a look for a king and a tuna after probably an hour of casting stick baits and downsizing the leaders and tying more FG knots in the wind and doing all that sort of shit. I thought, I'll slow trawl liveys through them. Can tell you, they don't give a shit. You're more likely to just hit one on the head with a sinker as you're dragging them through than you are to actually fucking hook one. So, yeah. I'm sure other people have probably caught them on liveys, but yeah, I've had a crack and can tell you, they didn't even look at them. So, interesting.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Harry. I love the honesty. I love
Fantastic
the openness.
report.
Yeah, that's a great report.
Fantastic report.
That's the report you need. How many years have you just read reports of success stories, Adam?
Yep.
Sometimes you just need, they wouldn't fucking touch it.
And this is what the deep drop does. It brings reality. And the reality is sometimes the greatest ideas, because I would actually put live baits for bluefin tuna up there in probably an A tier idea.
Yeah.
Sometimes practicality gives you the middle finger and says, your idea is shit. And that's pretty much what happened. I'm not ready to rule it out yet. If anyone else has tried it and they've had a similar experience or the opposite, please get in contact. Leave us a voice message. That's absolutely perfect because we can hear specifically firsthand what happened, because I dare say Harry won't be throwing another live bait.
No, I reckon Harry's
At a
done with the
bluefin
live
tuna.
baits. I love that he gave it a go, and it just makes
it's awesome.
It almost makes me angry that they didn't eat a live bait. But
Do you know what's weird? Is it kind of strange that in my brain, the first thing I thought, okay, well, maybe slow trolling a live bait isn't the go for a bluefin. Maybe actually casting a live bait and trying to hit it in the fucking head might just be the 1%er that turns them onto live bait.
it's not a bad idea. If you can get close enough that you could just drift one back, you set up your drift line and the current. That could be, even just, motor off, engine off.
Yeah.
Drifting one or casting, as you say.
Just lob one in
Just
front.
lob one as hard
Because
as
it depends
you
how close they'll let you get in the boat.
can. Yeah, that's
But yeah, Harry, tip of the cap to you.
Oh,
Well done
brilliant.
for having a red hot crack at it. Even a bigger well done for reaching out to the drop and letting us know how it went firsthand, because what an absolute pisser of a report.
I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to say, Harry and Stubbsy23, get in touch. I'm going to send you a stubby holder and a hat.
Oh, I love it. Well earned.
Both of you. Harry, get
Yep.
in touch. Stubbsy23, let it, reach out. We'll flick you a hat and a
Yeah.
stubby holder. That's what
Well
we love.
earned
That
and
shit.
deserved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Because the story was brilliant, and this drink is going down nicely.
It's gone down smooth. Could be a messy show, Luke. I hope it's not too long.
Ads, before we get stuck into some deeper conversation, I've got a bit of it's somewhat of an announcement, I suppose. I heard from our good friend Andrew Hart this afternoon, talking a bit of shit, as we do.
Yep.
But he did say, hey, heads up, hook, line and sinker deep drop episode of Hook, Line and Sinker. Sorry, that was a bit of a mouthful. The episode of Hook, Line and Sinker that we and Lee Rayner jumped on board and filmed some stuff is going to air on the 23rd of February.
Oh, nice.
23rd of Feb. That's on 7 Mate, 7 Plus, 7 fucking whatever. There's heaps of sevens these days. So put that in your bloody calendar. 23rd of Feb.
I've written that down.
Yeah, keep an eye out on the socials. We'll share some, highlight clips and bits and pieces as they come to hand too. Hardy says that Sally has been challenged with you and I in front of the camerads, but she's going to make it work. No.
Makes sense.
Yeah. No, he said it's going to be a banger of an episode. He's looking forward to it going to air. So 23rd of Feb. So there you go. That'll be a bit of fun. It was a fun
Put that in
day.
the diary? Yeah, we might have to break that down when it goes there, I think.
I think we should. Freezing cold from memory. Was it? Cold. Western
Yeah, it was
Port.
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was shit winter.
I was cuddling up to Andrew at one stage in his warm jacket. But yeah, so looking forward to seeing that. It's, there's some stuff I want to talk about, but I want the episode to go to air first because there was some shit happen on that trip.
And then we'll recap, yeah.
Yeah. All right, there you go. 23rd of Feb, Hook, Line and Sinker, 7 Mate, 7 Plus. Check it out. Keep your eyes peeled across the socials. Now, Adam, you and the listeners may remember a conversation I hope you remember, a conversation we had, I think when episode 1 of the year, where we sort of, I suppose, dismissed the New Year resolution as a, it's a bit of a nothing sort of a. But we thought a monthly resolution makes more sense. It's more trackable. The heat's on to get it done. You've got, more resolutions throughout the year that can compile if you're not knocking them over in one hit.
Yep.
It's the start of Feb as we record this ads. We need to set a.
It is too.
It is. We need to set a February. Fucking hell.
How many hard solos have you had pre-game?
7 or 8. We need to set a new month resolution.
I love this. I'm not going to lie. I didn't quite forget about it, but I didn't quite remember either. No. More because February sort of snuck up on me than anything. But
I know, right? What the fuck's up with that?
I have got a few that I'm sitting on. Because there's tactics to this, Luke. I can't help it. I'm sitting down, coming up with a game plan, trying to work out when I drop certain things in certain months, because some of them I'm going to need more than 1 month to actually tick them off. Others, I don't want to go too early on something and completely get over it by the time I drop it. So I've had to think
I love the
about
thought process with it. You're a thinker. You're an analytical kind of guy. You're a numbers guy. This is a mathematical equation.
This is not for fun. This is serious business.
Serious.
And I want to hit every single one of these bloody things.
All right, and from memory too. We're not doing this for shits and gigs. There's a bit of something in this because we're going to tally this throughout the year, and at the end of this particular season, 2025, we are going to check the scorecard, and whoever has ticked off the most monthly resolutions, I believe, is going to be the recipient of an alcoholic prize. I think was the was the thing we sort of just mutually agreed on.
Yeah, it's I'm all in. Yes, an alcoholic prize will definitely be on the cards. Okay. I'm looking forward to this, Luke.
All right. Well, how have you gone? Have you had a think? What are you going to put on the table for your February resolution?
I'm opening up with probably one of the loftiest goals I think I've ever had in fishing, and bear in mind I live in Victoria.
Okay.
So my resolution's not going to make any sense without a little bit of information that goes with it. But my resolution for February 2025 is a meter barra.
Hang on a minute. On a minute.
And I understand the game and I'm sticking by it. Meter barra.
Yeah. This isn't fantasy football. You got to go and actually do this. You know what I'm saying?
So the method to my madness here.
Please.
Now, it's risky.
Yeah.
It's very risky.
Yeah.
So we're recording this on a Monday night.
Correct.
In 2 days' time, I go to Lake Mondrian for 4 days.
Well, that makes a bit more sense. 4 days, though.
I know. Yeah, 4 days. Now, listen. Technically, it's a work sales conference.
Okay. Good.
Technically.
Yes.
But I am so excited and I'm so confident.
Wow.
I'm willing to list meter barra.
You've listed
not just in the list, but in February. So, if I strike out, it gives me the rest of the year to at least try and do something to get a meter barra this year.
Okay.
And straight to the top, because I've never even caught a legal barra, let alone a meter one. So I'm starting off big time.
I love that. Initially, I thought, Adam, you've lost your marbles.
You've misunderstood the actual program here.
Okay. Well, and listen, this is, again, tactically brilliant, because you're also going to be fishing with a literal champion, a recent champion of those impoundment fisheries, Tim Morgan.
Yep.
So you've got, it's all looking pretty good for you.
I'm confident. I'm really confident.
You sound it. I'm not going to lie.
I'm really confident.
I expect, and we can check in throughout the course of the month, or are we just going to wait till end of month to sort of check in?
We'll give some quick updates as we go. Okay. I want to be held accountable.
You might tick this off by next time we sit down to record.
Yeah, that's right. Or I'm screwed, and I've got to try and work out how I'm going to get a meter barra between February and December.
Well, yeah, true. That's right. So that's a good point. Just as far as rules go, monthly resolution, yes, but you do have the whole year to tick it off.
Yeah, so we're just announcing
Yes.
each month
Yeah.
what we're.
But
what we're
ideally, you
striving
tick it
for.
off then and there in that month because
Yeah.
then you're done.
Don't have to stress.
Don't have to
Just
stress.
focus on March.
It's like a school assignment. Just get it done, then it's done. You can go out partying. Never did.
What are you rocking for Feb?
For Feb, sounds a bit sort of understated now. I don't know whether I should
came
have
in
gone
hot.
first. Yeah, I know you did, but I want to. It sounds really shit now. What I want to do is it's calamari fishing. So yeah, meet a barra calamari. But I want to do it. I want to do it off the beach. There are some
Okay.
spots that I know of in my local area where they are accessible land bait. And, you know, we've caught squid land baits. You and I have done a bit of it off the stones and piers and whatever in the past. But I'd like to wade. I'd like to wade in the beach and catch them.
So what's the actual challenge here? Do you just want to catch one, or is it? Are you looking for a nice and tasty sesh off the beach?
I think it's got to be a sesh. A bit, you know, when you say sesh, it doesn't have to be a 20 or a 10, but you know, half a
10.
dozen would be nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it because
And to your point, I'm also confident in that. I know they're there. It's a case of getting the tides and the wind right as well, because you obviously got some factors there.
so it's going to take some planning. It's not just walk
It'll
down
take some-
the
No.
road to the beach and have a couple of casts and hope.
No, it'll be a bit of planning. It's not going to be as hectic as having to travel to Mondrian, but I think there's a bit of planning involved. But I'd like to do it. It's just something. It's not a technique or a method to catch calamari that I've done a lot of. And in these warmer months, it's wading in the cool water. I don't know. Sounds good to me.
So I've come into this with a little bit of a ridiculous one to start, and that wasn't planned. This is just where I'm at. I'm able to go on this trip this week, and it could be one of the things. I think it's cool because there's a lot of things in fishing that we both do, and I'm sure a lot of the people listening do too. We have some really nice fishing options right under our nose that we constantly ignore for one reason or another. Whether that's just because it's too close, so it's too easy, and it's really easy to go, can't be bothered. You don't have to make an effort because it's just there.
Yeah.
Wading a beach sounds really easy. But we're also in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
There's going to be people everywhere on the beaches down your way.
There's that factor as well. But I'll work it out. I think in my head, and tell me if I'm thinking the wrong way about it. In my head, I'm thinking late afternoon, almost sun dipping type stuff. Not dark, but like late afternoon where, to your point, the crowds have thinned out if there's anyone there at all, ideally no one at all. And the pressure of those shallower parts of, a couple of the bay beaches I'm thinking about has eased off a bit. And ideally, it's a fairly calm situation. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's what comes to my mind if I think about trying to catch calamari at the beach.
Yeah, there's a bit of gear element to it, right? And we always love talking a bit of gear. So the longer the rod, the better, in my opinion, for this particular situation.
Agreed.
There's no need for anything too outrageous. Maybe a sling bag with a half a dozen squid jigs in it.
Talk me through what you think in jig wise, because I can see two scenarios where you think off the beach, shallow water, walking a small squid jig would probably be best, but
my mind
you're gonna kill casting distance going too small.
No, my mind
towards?
goes straight for a size 3 squid jig. That's just go straight there. It's shallow, but it's got I'll end up casting where I'm thinking of going into probably anywhere from 2 to 3 meters. There's a fairly significant drop off. Yeah. Well, depending on there's obviously it varies, but there are some deeper parts that are reachable with a cast. At one point, I was thinking, do I use a dropper to get some extra distance? Like a
Ooh, I
sinker
love
off the
this
nose.
strategy. I love this.
And that's purely for casting distance.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, then does it plummet too hard? Is it because it's all about then working hence the long rod option, working the angles of your retrieve as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's
yeah,
a few
'cause it's gonna be
factors to
shallow.
it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I love this. I think that's I reckon that's a great little challenge.
So I'll have a go. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a nice. To your point, I think there's some scenarios that we could challenge ourselves with that are nice and close to home and very doable for anyone who wants to have a crack. And that's the other thing. I think it's a bit of a misconception that you can actually go do this. Like there's some really good fishing land-based all around the bay. When I speak about bay, I'm probably Port Phillip Bay in Victoria in particular, but that there's some great fish to be caught. The King George whiting sit in so close,
Yeah. Pinkies push in real close over night time.
Yeah.
There's gars, there's flathead, there's flounder, there's...
I took the kids snorkeling the other day, and there were 2 or 3 gars that were basically harassing me. And I thought, why I ought to just grab you and whack you straight on a pan. And there was quite a few in the end. We spotted a bunch of them, and it was something I haven't done a lot of for years. I remember fishing as a kid in shallow for gars, just burleying up, light burley, and they just popped up everywhere. But hadn't seen too many. Haven't really fished for them, to be honest, much. But also on that same snorkeling trip saw, and I know it's hard because it's exaggerated because those goggles amplify things, but what I thought was one of the biggest King George whiting I've ever seen. It was fat. Like, it was huge.
You saw whiting while you were snorkeling?
Yeah, a couple of them.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Because you associate King George whiting with being way too cagey for that.
Invisible.
The second you get close, they're gone.
It's like when people say they can see them when they're in the boat. And I'm like, where?
Yeah, how?
I can never spot them.
No. So
Like, you could be standing next to me going, they're just there. They're milling around that little bit of weed there. I'm like, I cannot see them. And I can only ever
remember physically seeing them once. And the only reason I saw them is because it was in winter, actually. We were coming into the Mornington boat ramp and it was crystal clear. And there was a school of whiting sitting in like 3 mil of water on the boat ramp.
Yeah.
It's only because I was seeing them against the concrete that I could, and it still took me a second to spot them.
The back half of them were out of the water. But definitely spotted some while snorkeling in shallows. Like it was great, and it was exactly the exact area you'd fish for them too. Weed banks, blobs of rubble and then just sandbanks as well. Just mixture. It was just so good.
That's unreal that you saw them.
This
Surely
thing looked fat,
the
dude.
first thing you thought is, I can catch them land based.
I did. That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
And then I looked up and saw the fucking cool cabanas for miles and went, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this right now. But then I had that thought process of, do I just bring a hand line out here and just snorkel? I don't see anyone do that.
That's got to be clocked. That's got to be you've clocked fishing. If you could, please tell me you try and hand feed a whiting with a hand line while you're snorkeling. Please tell me.
Should I give it a go?
You have to. Please, you have to.
Can you imagine what
This is brilliant.
How much of a dick I'll look like walking out with a hand line and
Worth it.
I'll just use turtleback worms.
Whiting on a plastic, holding
On
a
a
hand
hand
line, snorkeling.
Yeah.
Don't ever fish again. Just cross
that's it.
whiting off. They don't exist.
I think
You've done it.
the deep drop might end. Like it could be it. Like that could be, we might do an episode to wrap up. I'll say thank you, ads. Thank you, everyone, for listening. It's been a great journey, but I've fucking clocked it.
There has to be a way to try and film that. There has to be.
You know when we say there's no, like, you can't clock fishing, there's no definitive answer.
You can.
You can. And
You
that
can.
is how you do it.
That's it. That would.
I'm doing it.
Hey, if you can get that done, don't worry about monthly resolutions. You've won the year. I'll buy you piss now.
Will you? That's it?
100%. I'll just call it now.
That's the golden ticket.
That's the golden ticket. Yeah, if you
Okay.
can catch a King George whiting on a hand line snorkeling, that's over. I don't even care if it's on. I don't care if it's on a bit of pippy. I don't care if it's on a bit of squid. I don't care if it's on a turtleback worm. I don't care. If you can get that done, you deserve every bit of glory and winning of competitions known to man.
Yes. Okay. Good. All right. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do it, but I'll at some point, I might have a go. Oh my God. Okay. So to recap, Your monthly reso, meet a barra.
Yeah.
What? You guys are a podcast from Victoria. Exactly.
Correct.
Adam is travelling.
Yeah.
I want to catch some calamari off the beach, land-based. So waiting.
walking the sand, casting squid jigs.
Yep.
Nice.
Sounds boring as shit compared to a meter barra. I know, but it'll be cool. So
But it doesn't matter. The thing is, you could tick it off.
That's
I
right.
might not.
That's right. That's right. At the end of the day, if you win a grand final by kicking more goals, that's all that people remember. It doesn't matter how you kick them goals. You know what I'm saying?
Whether it's 1 point or it's 65 points.
Yeah.
Win's a win.
Win's a win. All right, sweet. Watch this space. Love it. Good work. Good work. Adam, I am absolutely probably to touch on my point earlier. So we won't be releasing an episode next week. You are away.
Yep.
Chasing your monthly resolution.
Correct.
And also, just by the way, because I know you're up there doing a bit of work as well, you tell work to wait. All right, this is way more important.
Well,
when the boys say, guys, we got to knuckle down, you go, no.
It's
There's
actually
only
the
one
perfect,
thing when knuckled down.
It's the perfect scenario, because what I'm learning with these Barra impoundments through the research I've been doing, nighttime is the go. There's not going to be much sleep getting on.
Yeah,
So,
no.
apologise in advance to the team if I doze off mid-work sesh.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Okay.
But I've got a resolution to tick
You've
off.
got a resolution. Yeah, good. I'm glad that's where we sit. And, on behalf of all the listeners, thank you for that effort. And I wouldn't expect anything less. I'm currently sitting here dripping of sweat. I'm not even exaggerating. It is fucking hot. However, in, 4 or 5 days' time, mate, it's gonna be the complete opposite. So I won't be around to record either, as you, but I will be
You're going to
China. I'm going to China. And the current forecast for Beijing is -10.
Oh, fuck that.
So
Have you ever been anywhere that cold?
No, I haven't. No, because when you get the odd -0 or -1 in Melbourne, you go, oh, it's fucking cold. That's another -10 degrees.
There's a small piece of me, and I'm not a cold person. I don't appreciate the cold.
No.
I couldn't give two shits about the snow. I don't care any of it. The only thing I like cold is a beer on a warm day.
Yeah, good. Yep.
There's a piece of me that wouldn't mind just experiencing for a second what -10 feels like.
Yeah. I'll let you know. I'll try and if I see
Because that's
something
proper
that
cold.
epitomizes what I'm feeling, I'll get it. I'll try and capture a bit of content while I'm over there of just what we're up to. But yeah, look, it's going to be fun. It'll be a good trip. There's no doubt about that. But the temperature I'm not overly excited about. I'm going to just put it out there. But that's okay.
That's cold, dude. That's
cold.
That's cold. Like an ice blocker's going, fuck, it's cold out here.
Yeah, I did feel a bit better today. I had a look because we then fly back down south to Hong Kong, and it was 16 degrees. And I thought I can do that. I can do 16.
16's okay.
Yeah, but
That'll feel hot compared to where you've come from.
It probably will too. Anyway, so that's what's happening next week. So hence why there will be no new episode. But by all means, it might be a chance to catch up on some that you've missed throughout the.
There's going to be a hell of a catch up for us the week after.
My word, and I tell you what. The first, I know we're in a competition, but I want you to tick off your monthly reso, mate. I really do.
Me too, because it's a cross off for the whole fucking year, essentially, if I don't.
But I also had a bit of travel during the week, Adam. I know that we didn't speak for a couple of days because I did duck over to the US to catch up with President Trump.
Oh, I wondered why I couldn't get you.
Yeah, you know how I've sort of jumped back into the journalism sort of thing.
Yeah.
Caught up with Novak recently, and anyway, I sort of thought, here's my chance. There's a couple of things I wanted to talk to Trump about. One is, I don't know about you, but the arrow squid and those leather jacket offshore that fuck up all your gear and your lures and whatever else, they're a pain. So I just wanted to get Trump's thoughts on that. Obviously had to ask him about jet skis and jet skiers and where he felt, what he felt about that. So anyway, there's a bit there, but I thought if you're happy, mate, I can play those grabs from that press conference tonight if you want. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Mr. Trump. Yeah, here. I just wanted to ask you about fishing.
Here we go.
Well, I mean, it's a popular sport. Anyway, about the arrow squid and the leather jacket offshore, you've mentioned in the past you consider it an invasion.
I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
But do you think that they have a right to be here, though? That they've made their way here legally?
I want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. You know, they have to come into a process. I want it to be a process.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk to you about jet skis. Mr. President, if you had the opportunity to sit down with a representative from a jet ski organisation, what sort of things would you say to them?
You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working, and the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. You are the enemy of the people.
Wow, okay. You've mentioned in the past about trying to put a stop to people being a bit cagey with their fishing and opening up a bit more. And where's that? Is that coming to an end soon? Are you going to put a stop to all that?
I could have ended it any time I wanted. I didn't. And this is a investigation where many, many millions of dollars has been spent.
Well, that's a lot.
And there's no collusion. It was supposed to be on collusion. There's no collusion.
I don't even know what collusion is.
And I think it's very bad for our country. I will tell you. I think it's a shame.
And just one more question.
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So, as you can hear, Ads, don't get much of a chance with the president. But, you know, I fired a few questions off, so I felt okay about it. But, yeah,
well,
interesting.
A couple of takeaways.
Sure.
A couple of takeaways from that. Listen, going to be, I think, hard work to be an arrow scooter or leather jacket. But, you know, it's a pretty tough life anyway for them. Jet ski is still getting zero love. So, it's okay.
Exactly.
We'll meet someone one day, maybe not.
Pretty harsh words, though, from Donald on jet skis. But I suppose we haven't heard much nice stuff, to be honest.
Well, there was one little win that come out of the hard-hitting journalism that we just witnessed, and it's that we have one of our sponos might actually last another week in kgwankers.com. Yeah. Because it wasn't looking good for him for a split second there. But you jumped in, and we straight from the president's mouth, we're okay for a little bit longer. Who knows how long? But for now, kgwankers.com.
Do you know, we got tagged in a post just the other day after that episode came out, and obviously the Spono did their thing, and it was a fella with a beautiful brim, a really chunky looking brim, full blurred background.
Yes. I think I know what you're talking about.
kgwankers.com, and shout out to kgwankers.com, obviously reaching new customers and new audience, which is great.
Yeah, that's right, and appreciate the support.
Absolutely. So, I don't know. I'll keep the journalism thing going for a bit. I sort of get caught up into some of these presses, so we'll see. When the time's right to jump into those. But
well, mate. I'm glad you're back into it.
Yeah, thanks.
It's good.
Yeah, I've hit a couple of heavy hitters straight off the bat, Novak and the Prez.
Some opportunities you just can't refuse.
He wasn't that pumped when I said I want to talk about fishing, but anyway. Yeah. I wanted to throw something to you, Ads. You're a bit of a gear nerd. Okay, I said it. Sorry, but okay. I was going to say gear junkie, but I mean, that's a bit. Anyway, I guess it's a bit of a conversation point. But I suppose in a nutshell, the reason this has come up is I was over at my mum and dad's house, and for some reason we started talking about some of Dad's old gear, fishing gear, reels in particular. And I just had these vague memories of some of the reels that he had. And I started asking about him. He said, "Oh yeah," so he pulled out a bag and pulled out some of these reels. And I just started thinking, geez, like, this is cool. This is really cool. For example, a really OG TLD 30, which is the Triton Trolling series, with the gold sort of middle bit, and I'll show you. I'll share some images on Instagram, but really old school. The other one was, now I don't know too much about this because I haven't done my homework on it, but it was a Bantam 1000, Shimano Bantam 1000. Dad, and like some of the finish on these things are cool as.
That's gold.
Yeah, and Dad was telling me that. So this is a small bait cast, basically, small bait cast reel. mid-'80s, they used to troll more or less at the start and end of a day's fishing between Montague Island and the bar. They just troll with that 2 kilo line on that Bantam 1000 catching striped tuna, which on that outfit, it's kind of like you wouldn't even think to do that sort of stuff these days. But anyway, I digress. My point is the feeling I had looking through some of these reels and old bits of gear and even lures to the degree, had some old lures that you can't even get anymore. But is there enough energy and love for old fishing gear? I'm not just talking about something that's sat in the shed for a bit, but stuff that's really impactful. Like some of the old Penn, Abu, and certainly Shimano reels that kind of at the time were at the forefront of technology when it came to reels. And if we're just talking about reels specifically, because I think it kind of plays into that a bit more, is like the stuff that he's got, and he's got a bunch of those reels. I never want to put near the water again, but I want to clean them up and make sure they are looked after till the end of time. Because I don't know, for me, that's my own personal museum type shit. Like, do you feel that way about that sort of stuff, or am I getting a bit carried away?
No. I think it's awesome, and there is a massive fishing community out there that do collect these sort of things and really go hard with it, like go next level. But my mind goes in a little bit of a different direction because by nature, I'm not I guess, so much of a sentimental person. Like I can see something like that and go, yeah, that's cool. But it doesn't... I'm not obsessed to go and find one. It's cool to have a wind and see how far things have come and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But where my mind does go, do you think there would be any sort of hobbyist market? You know the resto mod car scene? Have you heard of this? Where they take old cars, strip them back completely, fill them full of modern new engines, suspension.
Okay.
So from the outside, they look like the original old beat up rust bucket from the 60s, 70s, whatever.
Yeah.
But they've got all the modern bits and pieces. Do you reckon there is someone who's a bit crafty, engineer type, someone with a bit of a bit of metalwork background or something that would take an old body like that Bantam 1000 and essentially retrofitted the insides with, say, a Corrado DC?
I was going to say, yeah, like a completely up-spec'd beast of a reel internals. But I think you're spot on. The key is the external. Has to be the same.
And it has to be not just the same, but it has to be beat up the same. The reel needs to look like an original that was used
and abused,
and used hard. But you pick it up. Can you imagine the spin out it would be to pick up a Bantam 1000 and spin the handle and go, hang on,
Calcutta, what?
That's the best feeling reel I've ever. And it's what's going on here.
And it would be all of a sudden one of a kind, one of one.
Yep,
Be
modern drags, updated materials, but they're all cut perfectly. All the modern features inside this old reel.
Man, my mind wanders, Adam. My mind wanders.
How cool would that be?
Are we talking about the deep drop Pimp My Reel?
Maybe.
Is that what we're doing right now?
Write it down. Write it down. That is a thing. Wow. Because that would be pretty awesome.
That'd be pretty rad. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Because again, there's so many of those. Even like again, thinking like Abu,
the old Cardinals,
the history in those,
ambassadors,
exactly, and the shit that they would have seen those reels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they got flogged to death, but just stood the test of time. And the only thing that's defeated them is modern technology.
Just technology.
Yeah, because mate, like these things, TLDs. We've all had TLDs, like you know what I mean. But they're just, and they'll always be sensational reels that will knock over most things that you need. But modern technology has kind of overtaken it, and even to the point of things like the weight of reels. You know what I mean? So that all of a sudden they're not as But can you imagine it's like even a TLD, which was never necessarily a high-end reel. Well, I guess maybe once upon a time it was. But having the body and the cosmetics the same, but underneath it just being like a Talica. Like
I was going to say, could you imagine rocking up to your mate's boat on going out for a hardcore kingy sesh?
Yeah.
And you rock up with a TLD 5. But it's been through the full Resto Mod upgrade. So you've gone fully custom cut aluminium spool, lightweight ported spool. You're pushing 20 kilos of drag out of this little thing because you've just beefed up the internals.
But the drag lever's the same. So
Drag lever's the same.
Yeah, it doesn't. Nothing about it looks like it should.
Infinite anti-reverse. So there's none of this. Every time you stop winding, it winds half the way backwards before you have to start going forward again.
Although there's something kind of nostalgic about that.
But that would be
balls to the
unreal.
wall. TLD 5 takes on anything on the market for like size. That'd be.
Yep.
Can you imagine
Upgrade
getting on the boat,
gearing, upgrade the gearing so it's pulling like a solid. Like it's this high-speed master, not the old 3.2 to 1 that they used to be.
Imagine you stepping onto the boat with a bunch of guys who know what they're doing. Like they're pretty. Oh, here we go, boys. Fucking have a look at this clown. Here we go. What's he going to do with that, mate? Good luck. And then just boom, you're just wrenching him. Oh man, it'd be satisfying as hell.
Rocking up with a 2-speed TLD 5.
Just locking that bad boy to sunset and just saying, "Here we go, boys." Be cool. I mean,
be awesome.
I'd love to, because there are certainly people out there. I know a handful, even just off the top of my head, that are in my head that are very, very good at pulling apart a reel, even for a service or for some repairs or whatever it is. That I reckon have probably entertained the idea of this sort of thing. To be honest,
yeah,
I think we need to push those particular people to get it.
It would be incredible to see an IX 2000 that feels like a Stratic.
Is that? I don't even know if that's possible.
Hey, anything's possible.
An IX didn't even have an aluminium spool, did it?
No, all graphite. Graphite everything.
Maybe we could do the aluminium spool with like a matte paint so it looks graphite.
Yes.
You know, so to look at you going, that's what it is. It's still, dude, don't be putting braid on that hard. You're going to make that thing explode. Watch me. Yeah. Fuck.
That would be...
IX, was it the IX with the drag?
There's a rear drag.
Underneath. The rear drag.
Yep.
Imagine I wonder if that could be up-spec'd.
It would be fascinating because
it's just there, as like it doesn't do anything. The drag, all of a sudden you put the drag knob on top. You have the rear drag there purely just to
now we're going a step
psych
further,
people out.
And
yeah.
this is mad.
Yeah.
It would be round handle knob, It would be intense. Imagine that. How good would that be? Rocking up on the tournament scene with a fleet of IX 2000s.
Yeah, because you couldn't. I mean, the ultimate would be to make it look identical, even if it was to the point of some of those old. I can't even remember whether they were pen or I can't remember now. That had that timber sort of timber handle knob on it.
Yep, leave them on there.
But it's not. It just looks like that. But when you grab it, you go, "Oh my god, this is so comfortable! It's a power handle. I didn't realize." You know what I mean? Like, really fuck with people's heads. So to look at, they go,
"It would be unbelievable."
Man, okay, that's some homework right there. Hey, if you are one of these people we're talking about, get in touch because I'm not even joking. I'm sending you some reels straight off the bat.
Honestly, if you are one of these people and it's a legit hobby of yours and you've got some examples to show, we'll have you on the pod and we can talk about it because someone would have to be doing it.
100%. We can provide reels. I'll put it that way.
Can you hear that?
Are you talking to Siri?
Siri just no bullshit. This is creepy. I've got goosebumps right now.
Wow.
My work phone is sitting probably 2 meters away from me on the kitchen table.
Right.
And the idea of those reels is so good. Siri jumped in.
What did she say? Is she
I don't-
stealing
I
that
don't
idea?
know. I couldn't quite hear it. I've got headphones on, so I could. Well, we might have to listen to the playback. But
Can we get a replay on that, please?
that's fucking creepy.
She's
Apologies.
I mean, good idea, obviously, because she's on board.
She's all about
if
it.
you pick up that, can you go get the phone? Go get the phone.
I'll go
the
get
phone.
it. Hang on.
Go get the phone. This could be one of those moments from one of those TV shows where we never see Adam again. He picked up the phone and Siri took over. This is intense. Here he is. Okay, what's going on? What's going
All right,
on?
hang on. I've got the phone. I'm trying not to knock everything over. All right.
Yeah, I'm getting
back.
seasick looking at your
Oh,
camera
mate,
right now.
it's a tight space. And you think I was sweating before? Fuck, man. Anyway, we're back.
All right. So what's happened? What did she do? What did she pick
I don't
up
know.
on?
The phone the phone looks exactly like it should have been when it was sitting over there. I
Right.
caught the back end of it with.
Go to your search
Siri-
history. What did she look? What did she look
How do
for
I do
or
that?
search? I don't know. Is there a thing? Is there nothing? Is there any Siri
Nothing.
history? Or is it even Siri anymore? I don't even know. Or is it?
Yeah,
hey-
I think it is
it
because
Okay.
because I caught the very back end and she said something about not having to say, "Hey Siri."
okay.
See, look.
Yeah, but that's because
What,
you just said
hey,
it.
hey Siri, what did I ask you before? Oh, silent treatment.
You've confused her. That's awkward. Just ask her to repeat herself.
Hey Siri, repeat what you just said. Fucking useless bitch.
That's shit. That's shit. You can't just ghost us now.
That's it. That makes it even more creepy because from 2.5 meters away, she was able to interrupt a conversation. Yet now that I want to talk to her, silent treatment.
What do you say? Hey Siri, tell us. I don't know, because you didn't hear any of what she said, right?
Hey Siri, why did you interrupt our conversation on the deep drop?
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Oh,
Yeah, right.
okay.
Yeah, likely story.
likely. Yeah, right. Okay, off you trot.
Just ask her to repeat what she said before. Now that you've got her attention.
Hey Siri,
Uh-huh.
repeat what you said before.
Sorry, there is nothing to repeat.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
is it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Did she also just give you a mm-hmm?
Yeah, she did. She's got some attitudes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
All right,
Sorry,
well-
sorry for the interruption.
No, all good. I think you know how the phones listen to everything you say.
Yeah, clearly.
You might unknowingly be searching for a real engineer overnight. You wake up in the morning and there'll be a whole bunch of them in your.
I was going to
you
say
know.
there's 6 resto mod reels sitting on the front doorstep. IX2000s and TLD 5s.
I think it's a great idea. I'm thinking about the overhead option being like a small TLD being turned into a beefed up, whatever it is, and it doesn't have to be a replica Talica or a Tiagra. It could be a combination, like
Yeah.
based on the shape of the TLD. You know what I mean? And
Even if
Man,
it was
to
just
think-
to take, say, the existing componentry that's in there, and this is where I think it would
just
be
swap it out.
Yeah, and just find replicas, but with
Yeah.
the modern. Because if you were going to start adding other stuff, you would almost need to remold.
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
true.
like the inside of
Well,
the, which could be done with 3D
Which
printers
could be
and stuff.
done. Yeah.
I think it's worth mucking around with.
I
Someone's
do.
mucking around with.
And
it,
then
sure.
like a Sienna 2500 turned into a fucking Stratic. Or,
That
or
would
not
be-
even. Like to your point before, just to up-spec everything that's in there to whatever the
Yep.
highest version of
What-
that component is in,
That's
in
right.
that.
whatever
Arsenal.
size component it's
Oof.
already running, find something that's got a higher quality thing in
Imagine rocking up, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of an example. There's to one of the Brim tournaments with a rack full of Siennas, and they're all going, well, which by the way, I'm sure you could catch Brim,
Yeah.
but yeah, because you'd have to lighten them up too because of that. Obviously, the modern materials with the CI4 technology and all that sort of stuff. So how would you?
Yeah, not necessarily, unless just as long as the body, it would be heavier. Like it wouldn't be
Mm.
the weight of say a Vanford or an old Stratic CR4 or something. But
Yeah,
just imagine picking up something like a Sienna
Yeah.
and it feels like it's a $300 reel.
Well, what about even? Oh yeah. What about even just getting like, say from Penn, right? Which are known for sort of just beefy, tough
Yep.
spin reels, for example, like just using spin reels. Whatever the lower end sort of model is, or even if it's just an old school
Spinfisher SSM
yeah,
or a
Spin
Penn
Fisher or
Pursuit
whatever,
or something like that.
and but just beefing it up, like completely up specking it. So don't even worry about what you're trying to make it, but just everything in there, just max out, just completely
Yep.
max out.
No, that would
to
be amazing.
Just to see what you'd end up with, because I reckon it's already got that beefy body, right?
Yep.
If you could fill that full of the best possible gear you could get, it could end up one of the greatest offshore spin reels on the market.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, obviously not on the market, but that would be available. Like, it'd be insane potentially.
It would just be a cool thing. Because realistically, if you took, say, Penn's actually probably a great example of this. If we took, say, a Penn Spinfisher SSM and put everything unbelievable in it, you know what it is? Penn Slammer.
Yeah.
But it would
Pretty
be,
much.
but it would be awesome to have a Penn Slammer wrapped in the body of a Penn,
Yeah.
like SSM Spinfisher,
Yeah.
just for shits and gigs. Just
Yeah.
to say, look at this, and everyone going, ha, I remember them.
was-
You're like, no, you don't remember this one.
You ain't seen this.
Yeah, here,
This
just
is
wind it.
the real shit. Yeah, and just hand it over and just get on board and just be like, even on board, you go on, like, again, the stepping onto the boat would be one of the best feelings, because everyone would have their Stellas and Saltigas and,
Yeah. And you rock up
And
with a SSM
you've got a
Spinfisher.
Spinfisher? Dude, what are you doing here? Like, what's going on? We're going out chasing GTs. Watch me.
Yeah, that's right. You'll be
Step
begging
back.
to have a turn.
Back the fuck up. Let me cast. Watch this shit. And just just locking up on a big GT and just turning around with these ones. Hey, fuckers.
It's like, do you know what this is? This is a Stella that holds 4.5 kilometers of line.
It does the biggest spools ever.
It's an overhead
How much
spin.
line can you get on this, mate?
All of the
how much
line.
do you- how much do you want? How much do you need? Fill it.
Yeah,
Mate,
no, you don't want to do
You're
that.
not going to need to do that, mate. Yeah, nah, just fill it, dude. It's going to cost you $7,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would
What
be
about
cool. but-
baitcast? Is baitcast sort of something that I know there's sort of entry level baitcast reels, but I suppose similar thing.
I've got different ideas for baitcasters.
Do you? What's your idea there?
I feel as though baitcasters have a sex appeal that spin reels don't have. So I'm talking full box and dice, not just an internal upgrade, but full cosmetic changes. Carbon handles, sweet handle knobs, insane paint jobs.
Okay. This is
dipping.
yeah.
You know, they dip that. I don't know how it works, but you dip it in and you pull it out, and there's a fucking picture on it, like, and it's perfect. Like, just
mate.
and at the end of it, you get a reel that looks
It's a new reel.
complete bullshit. Like, just you're like, nah, absolute one of one.
I love that.
Not just aesthetically, but internally, it's not what you think.
Again, I'm just going to jump in. If anyone has the ability to do this stuff, now, whether it be the building of the internals of the reel, the dipping thing, dude. Do you know how many reels I've got that I'd love to dip? I would sacrifice. If anyone can do, if anyone can do this stuff, please reach out. I've got. I will supply reels. You don't have to do a thing. I would like to know what is involved, and let's get this shit happening. And I'll give them away on the show, because I'm that excited
imagine
about this
that.
shit.
I won't be giving away shit because I will be keeping them. Sorry.
You guys are really generous. Well, I am.
Yeah,
but-
well, you know, depends who you ask. But that would be awesome.
Please, I hope there's someone listening that can do that shit.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Like now, like ring me. Call the deep drop. Call management.
No, don't
management.
call management.
Well, management
He'll
will ring
lose
me.
him.
Nah, he'll ring. Nah, but he'll get in touch with me. He won't touch base with you.
No, he doesn't know who I am.
and let's get this shit happening, man.
Oh, we have to get something.
I'm not even kidding. Like, if we can do this, I will. We will give them bad. I will give some of them bad boys away on this show right now. I'm telling you, these will be collector's items that will only ever be received from the Deep Drop podcast.
It would be incredible.
What would be the first sort of dip you'd do? Like, as in, if you could just do any sort of, like, if you could fuck with like, would you do? I mean, I'm going bright green Deep Drop logo.
That's
just straight off the bat.
That's the first thing that came into my head as well. but full whacked out, like Deep Drop logo, dripping green slime off it. Like it looks like it's been splattered. I'm thinking matte base with like full gloss, like all the greens in gloss. I'm
doing BFS reel with just your pictures of you all over it, just your face. Yeah, that's what it is. The Adam Ring Signature Series BFS reel. And then I'm doing one. Then you know what I'm doing after that? I'm doing like a big overhead, and all on the side plates are just songs from the Deep Drop Fishing Tunes playlist on Spotify.
Nice.
And then on the middle bar across the middle is a QR code.
Yeah.
So you can just scan it and it just plays.
As you're sitting on a marlin, you can just
strapped in to the chair.
Yeah, just QR code.
Hey Barry,
Deep Drop.
come and scan this one and chuck some tunes on. All right, what does this do? Fucking provides bangers. That's what it does.
Yeah, that's right.
But even just some
stuff would be
even
endless.
just some whacked out funky colours. I went to ICAST last year and they had what are the this happened to me when I was on the show talking about it. What's that overhead reel mob from America?
Which one?
Yvette?
Yeah,
Yvette?
yeah. Oh, yeah. They do some custom side
And they
plates
do
stuff,
some,
don't
yeah, they had some pretty cool, but they were kind of, I mean, there was some okay stuff, but it was like they were just testing the waters. There was some cool metallic colours, like solid colours and stuff like that, which looked cool, but it's like, it looks cool, but it looks cool because it's different. It's like, that's all that we've seen. Like, let's get
proper funky and creative with it.
Yeah. I think Penn with the Internationals did a series of custom side plates and stuff for a while, or actually the whole colour of the reel, I think. But
how far would you go?
Some shit up.
Would you start like trying to match them to specific? Can you think of getting like a custom Miller rod, and then getting like a Vanford and dipping it like blue and grey camo?
Why not? Why not?
Might be a bit too full on.
How specific can you go with those paint jobs with like
No
the
idea.
dips? Can
I
you get
literally
like
know nothing about it.
No. Okay. Well, we need to, because I'm just thinking if you get some like proper,
If you're dipping shit, reach out. We need to chat.
please reach out.
It doesn't even need to be reels. If you're dipping shit,
No. Yeah.
get in touch.
Car parts and stuff, bike parts and shit
Yeah.
like that, predominantly.
Rims.
But I'm just thinking if you could get a picture on something like I'd love to like that Bantam 1000, for example. If I had something like that, where I would love to overlay like the sort of marine topograph thing of Montague Island for my dad. Do you know what I mean? Because that was his memory of that reel. Is to like that'd be fucking cool.
That'd be cool.
Okay. All right. I mean, we could sit here for at least 4 or 5 more hours talking about this stuff.
So if you tinker with reels in order to upgrade them, old reels, not just making little upgrades to already cool shit, but if you're doing up old reels or dipping shit, reach out.
Please
we need
get in
to
touch.
chat.
We need
I'm
you.
begging you. Yeah.
Yeah. that was a good pitch, but I think we can get. I think we can get it happening. All right. Now I promise. Well, I don't know if I promised, but I spoke about maybe a jingle for the top 6. Haven't done it yet, but I've got a few ideas in mind. Started working on it. It will happen, but top 6 has become a regular, mate. It's a segment that
fun.
we wrap the show up with pretty much. And this week, I'm handing over to you because it's an area that you wanted to bring to the table because of time relevance. So over to you. What are we doing for this week's top 6?
Luke, it's Super Bowl week. So we are recording this pod on a Monday night. The following Monday, where we would normally record next week's pod, which we can't next week, will be Super Bowl
Okay,
day.
right. Okay.
So now I don't know. Do you follow the NFL at all?
No, I don't. No.
Okay. So I follow it a bit, like mainly. I'm up to date with it. I listen to a few podcasts. I love it. I think it's awesome.
If you
So I
if you
thought-
could be next Monday at the Super Bowl or at Mondrian catching me to Barra, which one? Yeah. See, it's one of those.
I'm gonna go. I'm going with Mondi.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Do you know?
That's
I'm
fine.
I'm going with Mondi. Do you know? And I know it's not the Super Bowl, but I did see announced this week that the MCG could potentially be
I did
hosting
see
two
that too,
NFL
actually. I
games
thought of
a
you.
year from
I
2026.
thought of you.
We're going.
My 7-year-old said we should go, and I said, "What is NFL?" And he goes, "Don't know."
We're educated. Anyway, top six. This is a great start. We're celebrating the Super Bowl, but we're
Yes.
doing it deep drop style.
Okay.
So what do you do when you don't know a hell of a lot about something? You
Look
fake
at the
it.
pictures.
You fake it. We are ranking the top 6 best NFL helmets from the 2024 season.
Good. Because I was worried you might, say rank the top 6 players in the league at the moment. I'm like, mate,
No.
I'm out.
No, quarterbacks, tight ends, running backs, wide receiver. No, we're leaving it alone. We're going helmets.
I don't know anything you just said, but I can look at helmets and tell you what I think looks cool. Is that what we're
And
sort
that's
of
what we're
for
going.
here?
No.
All right.
Just
Okay.
looking at those helmets, not knowing anything about any of the teams, what's going on. We're going one for one. The best looking helmets in the NFL. I want you to open us up.
You want me to start?
I want you to
I
open
feel
this
like this is your okay. This is.
No, I want you to start us off.
I'm honoured. Well, okay, so I went through, obviously, this. Mine, by the way, doesn't reference in one minute bit anything about the team or how the team perform
It's
or
not what
who's
this
on
is
the
about.
team.
No,
So
it's not what this
I'm
is
looking
about.
at this purely as that looks cool.
Yep.
So this is in no particular order, but I kind of flicked through and I went, that's cool, that looks shit, that looks cool. Mate, Tampa Bay Buccaneers wear a helmet that is predominantly black by the look of it with a red pirate flag and skull and crossbones on it. And I think that's fucking cool.
Yep. I tend to agree, and I did have it in my honourable mentions. So
Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah,
so
so-
yep, good.
okay, so number 1 was Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Number 1, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna number 2, the LA Rams.
Okay.
There is something cool about a blue helmet with a yellow ram's horn that follows the contour of the helmet and finishes under the player's ear. I just think that's cool as shit.
All right. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. It'd be cool if they had horns coming off them.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so number 3. Similar vein, I guess. Number 3, the Minnesota Vikings.
That was my number 3 as well.
It was?
Well played. 100%.
Well, there you go. So description would be, in the picture I've got, it almost looks like a matte finish
is.
on it, which
It is.
well, then
Looks
I'm,
awesome.
I'm very glad I put it in. Matte purple with white Viking horns out not out the side, but kind of,
yeah.
painted on. So, okay, good.
Great pick. Number 4, Dallas Cowboys. Plain,
Oh,
but it's iconic. You know it as soon as you see it. And there's something about the blue star on the silver background that just everybody knows the Dallas Cowboys, regardless of if they know the NFL or not. And I think it needs a spot.
well, you know what? I had it in my list as well. For that point, it's an iconic looking symbol, I suppose, or color combination. I had it in my list for sure, based on exactly that. So well played. So what are we up to? Number 5? Number 5, the San Diego Chargers.
Nice.
Now, I don't know if they're a shit team or anything about the San Diego Chargers, but
Well, what's interesting, they're not San Diego anymore. They're the second LA team.
okay. Okay.
But the helmet's the same. The LA Chargers.
What are they called? What are they called?
They're the second team in LA.
Oh, okay. LA Chargers.
Yep.
White helmet. Is it still the yellow lightning bolt down there?
Yellow
Yeah,
lightning
okay.
with a say a North Carolina blue, baby blue outline.
Yeah, nice. Okay, good. All right, so round us out with number 6 ads.
Number 6. I'm going to Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills. Okay.
Buffalo Bills.
Talk to us about Buffalo Bills because I don't
think
have that here saved, so I don't know what it looks like.
Well, it's the classic blue buffalo with a bit of a red stripe, I guess, that goes from the eye through the buffalo and out the back. It kind of looks like the buffalo's in motion.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool.
It's just a cool print.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like it.
You know what I discovered when I was looking at these? Whoever is designing this stuff, it's a hard job because how do you make a helmet look cool?
It's weird because I feel as though looking at some of them, they could be a hell of a lot cooler. But
What would you do? I know I put you on the spot with the reel. Like, what would you print? What would you print on a helmet?
I don't know. Yeah, black and green. But I think there's a theme to what looks good, all right? Because in my honourable mentions, I had the Philadelphia Eagles.
I had them as well.
Because anytime you put wings or horns, which I've seen, LA Rams, Minnesota Vikings, Philadelphia Eagles, anytime you put that sort of thing on it, it looks cool. Or you have to go, there's some of those insanely iconic, like the Cowboys, like the Raiders.
Yep. Yeah.
Vegas
yeah,
Raiders, which was the Oakland Raiders. Everyone knows that. There's half the people walking around are wearing Raiders hats and they have no idea it's even an NFL team. Or the San Francisco 49ers. The colorway, the symbol, you just know. So I think there's two distinct styles of helmet which stand out. But it's a lot of pressure designing a helmet, I think.
Yeah, but if you get that right, like to your point with the Dallas Cowboys, I know it's a different sport, but you know,
You're locked
the
in.
Yankees,
You're global.
The Yankees, like New York Yankees.
Yep.
Like if you can get a symbol like that, which is fairly simple, like that's all of a sudden you've created a brand.
Well,
So
you've got
pressure.
people that don't even know what it is wearing it. And I guess that's the ultimate win, isn't it?
100%. All right, so just to recap, the top 6 NFL helmets. Number 1, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 2, LA Rams. 3, Minnesota Vikings. 4, Dallas Cowboys. 5, LA Chargers. And 6, Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
How do you feel about it being an NFL fan?
No, I'm happy.
Happy.
No, I'm happy with
Yeah,
that. There were some
teams-
tough omissions.
Any of these teams going to feature in the Super Bowl?
No, so the Super Bowl this year is Philadelphia Eagles and
Which got an honourable mention.
which got an honourable mention. So it's
Is
Philly
it shit
and
is it
Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. Are you a little bit sort of flat that I have no idea about who's even in the Super Bowl? Are you sort of questioning
No, not
our
particularly.
friendship a little bit?
Nah. Because I'm only a relatively new fan. I didn't follow this from a kid, or
Okay.
it's probably
So
only
there's
been the
time.
last 7 or 8 years that I reckon I've been following it close enough that I know some players and I know the teams and all that sort of stuff. But I'm not happy about the Super Bowl this year. I don't like either of them. I would have.
Who do you support? Who do you follow? Who's your team?
I lean towards Baltimore. I think they've got the Baltimore Ravens. I think they were tough. They and I really like the Buffalo Bills as well, because when I first started getting into it, Buffalo were easily the worst team in pro sports, and they've managed to build their way up and up, but they just fall short of even getting to the big dance every year. They're in the mix, and it's always Kansas City that beats them.
Is it?
Yeah,
That shit you.
yeah, and
Okay.
Kansas City, you got a quarterback that's going for GOAT status.
You know something? Oh, really?
He's chasing Brady.
Who is it? Well, I know this name.
Patrick Mahomes.
I do know that name. See, that would have been disappointing if I didn't know the name. You know something we haven't done, and you know, massive shout out to anyone who is still with us an hour and 10 minutes into the show. Hopefully, you know, if you haven't managed to get the whole show in one hit, maybe this is take 2. You're on your way home from work.
Yeah,
whatever
part
it may
2.
be.
Yep.
We haven't actually called out, because top 6 has now become pretty regular ads, I think, on the Deep Drop. Suggestions. We've got a list a mile long, but if you've got suggestions and you want to hear us break down a top 6 on, and as you've heard so far, it could be anything. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. We've got some good ones in the pipe, but yeah, by all means, shoot us a note.
And just quickly, while we're talking about sports, I'm not going to harp on it because I'm shocked.
Yeah, what's up? What's troubling you tonight, Ad?
There was a big trade in the NBA overnight.
Oh, Patty Mills going to the 76ers?
Yeah.
Or the
Clippers.
Clippers, sorry.
Not quite.
No,
Close
not that
second.
one? Okay.
Close second. Close second.
Oh, massive.
Luka to the Lakers, AD to the Mavs. I'm shocked.
I'm shook. I still, 24 hours in, don't quite understand it.
There's a part of me that's expecting to open up social media and see that it was fake. That's how shocked I am.
Is trade period finished now? Closed?
No, I think we've still got.
Okay, because the reason I ask that is is this part one of another epic mega deal? Like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, you normally would know, like, straight after the first part of it. Yeah.
There's talk that's the most shocking NBA trade in the history of the NBA.
But it's perfectly described
no one knew.
Shocking. But no one knew. But it's also like, oh my God, that's amazing for ... I don't know who wins it, and I don't know why.
Oh, there's a clear winner.
Well, okay, you know more about this stuff than me. Short term, I feel like Dallas get the dub. Longer term, I feel like the Lakers have got now a superstar with 10 years to go. Or, you know what I mean?
He's not even in his prime. Luka Doncic is 25 years old.
Yeah. But I just think you've got a couple of vets in Kyrie and AD that could be
That's going to be
epic.
fun to watch.
Could be. Also
Good supporting
could turn to
cast.
shit.
AD gets to play power forward.
Yeah. But then you go, Luka has basically the key to LA now for the next decade.
Yep.
And they should be thereabouts for the next, as long
They
as
should.
he's there. He's that good.
Yeah, he's that good. That's why it's shocking.
Yeah. Anyway,
Sorry.
it is
It's a
odd,
fishing
but,
podcast, but I had to bring that up because I'm shocked.
I just wasn't sure whether you were talking about, Paddy moving to the Clips. Give him a run in LA. Have a bit of fun.
Yeah, you know.
Your sign-off year, or maybe
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough first year for Luka having to try and share LA with Patty Mills.
Well, wherever Paddy goes, Paddy owns.
Yeah.
So Luka's going to have to step back.
Just wait his turn.
Clearly, LeBron will step back and just go, Paddy, go for it, son.
The P Mills show. The new king of LA.
I mean, there's some good stuff. There's some good stuff going around. I'm looking forward to it. Is it weird just that deep down no one wants Jimmy Butler? There was a report that he was traded to Milwaukee, and I went,
Yeah, all the teams that want him can't afford him
yeah,
because Phoenix wants everyone.
it's fuck. Anyway, well, there's our sport wrap up for the month. Listen, this has been a big one. We hope everyone has a good couple of weeks, and we're going to miss talking to everyone next week. It is a bit of a shame. I'm going to be freezing my balls off in China. You're going to be sweating your balls off.
Fighting
up
Meta Barra.
north. Hopefully catching and ticking off your monthly reso.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. It'd be a huge weight off the shoulder to tick off the February resolution in the first week.
Massive. And especially one that big. Like, you have started.
Yeah.
You've started
it's
setting
hefty.
the bar high.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because if you miss, you're gone. You can't go back a couple of days later. You've got a 4-day window. Get it done.
If I miss, you are going to witness the filthiest individual the next time we record this podcast.
And you've set a metre too, so we're not even allowing 99.9 centimetres. It's a metre. Okay. So monthly resos, you're catching a metre Barra at Mondi. I want to get some squid off the beach, land-based, wading the beaches. Hook, line and sinker, Feb 23rd.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Put in your calendars. You'll see our
Save the date.
ugly mugs and having some fun. Jump back in if you missed it, but I hit the States and caught up with Trump. We were talking old gear. We spoke briefly about old gear, and then it quickly turned into some Pimp My Reel type discussion.
Yep.
I mean, give me some of that. Again, if
Reach
anyone...
out. Please reach out.
Please, if anyone, rebuilds reels, breaks them down, fixes them, does whatever to them,
Dips
or
them.
dips. If anyone
Paints
dips,
them.
Yeah, but just dips anything.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
could be car parts. Like anything that
shoes,
dip-
people,
whatever.
kids, whatever.
Rich, how? Can't do that. My kid rocks up to school just fully deep drop painted. And Rich, anyway, but that is us having a fantastic. We needless to say, the fish are fanging at the moment. There's some epic tuna fishing going on.
Kingy's still
offshore.
going good.
Kingy's still going good. There's some marlin up the coast. There's some bloody flathead the size of you and me combined, all the way up through
Barra
New
in the
South Wales up
impoundments.
to the Gold Coast. Barra in the impoundments, yes, please. And we will see you in a couple of weeks' time. Be safe. Catch some bloody fish. See you, ads.
Peace.